following program is a sports betting show that is meant to bring the average Joe gamblers of the world together to bullshit about picks, build parlays, and hopefully cash the occasional bet slip. We're not professional bettors. We want this to be fun, and we want to build a community of bettors who don't take every pick so damn seriously. We want to win. We're going to try to win. No shit. But when we lose, don't be an asshole about it. Thank you. It's Weber Bets Weekly. Let's go betting.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into this edition of Weber Bets Weekly. It is March 13, 2025. What's going on? My name's TJ Weber. You guys can follow me everywhere at Weber Bets on social media, mainly on Instagram and YouTube. Sometimes TikTok. We'll see, it just kind of depends. Most of the time, it's just those two, Instagram and YouTube. You guys get involved. Let us know your top plays on WeberBets.com. Very simple. You got a call button. We got a live phone line ready to rock. We also have a voicemail line if you want to jump in and leave your thoughts, leave your picks, because guess what, baby? It's conference tournament season. We're locked in. I apologize. I have not been on yet this week. It's been busy. Here's what I'll tell you. I've been ice cold, all right? I've been doing a lot of bets off the show. On the show, I mean, let's take a little look at the play sheet here. I mean, as you can see, I'm green all over the place. I had Belmont last show. I had Kansas the show before that. So if you look at the leaderboard, I am obviously number one. I'm 4-0, got a 4-win streak. Unfortunately, when I bet anything else that is not on the program itself, when I don't have time to go live, we fucking lose. So I need you guys to lock in. Let me know, because what I'm trying to do, and I'm sure everybody else is as well, trying to build up this bankroll for next week when March Madness begins. But conference tournament season is the time that we kind of lock in here and try to find a rhythm, figure out these teams a little bit more, and hopefully pick some winners, all right? So that's the plan. That's what we're going to do here, so we appreciate it. Going live here at lunchtime on a work day. Usually I do it in the morning, but again, I've been busy, haven't been able to do it, so we're on here at lunchtime. So if you're listening later on, I appreciate it. If you're listening live, make sure you get involved. Again, I always say this. If you can't call in because you're like, oh, I got work or whatever, I get it. I get to work from home sometimes. That's why I get to do this. You can leave a voicemail. WeberBets.com. Click leave a voicemail or leave a voice message, and it goes right to me, and we can bullshit that way too. So, if you're at work, you can kind of sneak off, do a little hot take, a little pick, like, hey, I really like Mizzou's over today. You can do that real fast and then come back. So, anyway, get involved, WeberBets.com, live on YouTube and on Instagram here on this Thursday afternoon. All right, so again, phone lines open, voicemail open, WeberBets.com if you want to get involved. And today we have probably the most prepared I've been for one play. I wanted to go in and have a few. I wanted my parlay and my number one play ready to rock. I got a number one play for you, and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But I want to see if anybody else has any other top plays, because we do have basketball on live right now. But this is mainly also for people that are going to be listening to this for the next few hours before the games tonight, because those are the ones that I kind of was locking in on. One in particular that's what we call a tease in the broadcast business. One in particular that I'm very high on. I think it could be something that starts a red-hot trend for me. I saw some stats I liked a lot between the two teams on the comparison. I've seen one of the teams play a lot, so I think there's a shot. But I want to hear what you guys have, because, as I told you, I'm ice cold, and I don't love it. I don't love not being able to have a flow right now, and so I got to find what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I got to find that flow and pick a winner and get this thing going into the weekend. I also possibly, it just came back to me because I thought about this yesterday, I might do a ladder challenge, because what you should do when you're ice cold like me is do a ladder challenge and start it today and do it through Sunday and try to earn some money for next week's March Madness stuff. So what I would probably do is throw 20 on a play, and then throw the 40 I win on the next play, and then the 80, and then the 160, and have hopefully over $300 because of the ladder challenge on top of whatever else we make going into March Madness. That seems like it'd be fun. I think that's going to be awesome. So that's a possibility. I might do that. I do have one play I like a lot, so we'll talk about that. It's been a long time, man. Stopping in to say hello and glad to see you're doing well. That's from Sons of Anarchy, one of my favorite shows. Thank you, Sons of Anarchy. I appreciate that. Yes, Sons of Anarchy, fantastic show. One of my favorites. But anyway, I might do the latter thing. We'll see. I also don't trust myself with these picks because I haven't won shit. But regardless, let's get into what I think is my number one play. I already wrote it down on the board so you guys can take a look. I actually got to change my camera angle here so you guys can see it both on Instagram and on YouTube. So let me switch it around here. If you can see that, I got the Tulsa Temple over 142.5. I was looking at this one a lot. What was kind of speaking to me on just first look was Temple straight up, or I think actually -3, but I thought about putting them money line and just taking a hit on that a little bit. But the more I started looking at this game, the more I kind of was locking in on what they do as a team. They get to the free throw line a shit ton. That was kind of my big thing. And they give up a lot of opportunities at the line as well. So they're fourth in the country, over 26 free throws a game. They get to the free throw line, and when they do, they win a lot. When they don't, they lose. That's their game. They got to drive. They're not a great shooting team. Tulsa's not great at the free throw line, so I thought right there was Tulsa -3, but I started looking more. And knowing how many opportunities that both these teams are going to get, knowing that it's conference tournament season, I see a lot of points going on the board with the clock stopped. And I started looking at the number. Between both of these teams, they've played twice already, I think, in the last 2 weeks. They'll play the third time here in the conference tournament. They have scored over, I believe it was 155 in both games. The over-under is 142.5. So I started with Temple as my play. I then looked at it. I saw that they're, I don't really take this a lot, just kind of looking at it, but they're 2-3 in neutral site games, 3-9 away from home. I saw them play the other day against North Texas. North Texas is a phenomenal defensive team, and Temple took it to them, played pretty well. Didn't score a shit ton of points, but they still scored 66 against a great defense, and Tulsa's not very good. Here's the thing. One of the top players, the top scorer, I think he was like first team, all freshman team. I didn't read all into it. He's won a lot of awards. He's been on certain teams. He's been injured since mid-February. There's rumors he could come back. However, when he's been out, there's been 2 guards that have stepped up. So I don't really worry about scoring-wise. They already went over in the last game they played without him against Tulsa. Again, this is the third time they've played in the last few weeks. So I don't worry about that. But it would be an extra bonus if he can play as well. And I apologize. I was looking more into the numbers, so I forgot to put the guy's name down. But that's what we do. We got a lot going on. It's March. You got a lot going on, so I focused on numbers. I switched to the over because, as I mentioned, you're getting Tulsa has a bad overall free throw percentage as a team. It's like 66%, 65, whatever. It's not great. However, for some reason, when they get over 20 free throw attempts, they're over 70%. Temple does like to, they like to kind of go down and get fouled, get to the line, but they also foul a lot themselves. Last time between these two, 38 points at the free throw line. 38 points. We need 142.5. And Tulsa's been shooting over 50% from the field in both games against Temple. Bam. There you go. They shoot lights out against Temple. That's why I was a little worried about taking Temple straight up in this one because, all the games have been close. I just don't trust Temple here overall. I thought about parlaying them, but I'm going to be safe about it, and I like the over. Tulsa's going to stay hot, I think, from the field, and I can see a lot of free throw opportunities, and hopefully Tulsa has a better day than they usually do, and basically Temple does their thing and scores a shit ton from the free throw line. That's what I want. That's what I'm going to do, and that's the number one play today. So Temple over 142.5 is the play. And as far as parlays, I'll take a look in a second, but that's the one I really did the most, kind of research on and looked. And again, listen, it's conference tournament season. I got a fucking chair in my way. I'm tripping over it. It's conference tournament season, so anything can happen. teams come out of nowhere. It's the fun part about it. But that's why I don't want to get screwed over if Tulsa has a day. I want to be. I feel better about the over than I feel about Temple. So that's where I'm going. Again, I'm not telling you to take this. I'm just saying, like, this is my number one play. Did a little research on it. Liked what I saw so much from the free throw opportunities that I switched from. God, look at my bald spot in the back. I switched from Temple to the over in general. All right. So that's what I'm thinking. The over is the number one play. And might look and see what else is out there for a parlay, but that's pretty much it. I'm putting the main play on that. All right. So the number I think is 142.5. I feel confident about that one. So 142.5 for the over, Tulsa and Temple, number one play today. And then I kind of want to see what else we got, right? I want to see if there's anything else we can add to it. I looked a little bit at Kansas. They let me down in a parlay yesterday. All three of them lost, so that's great. That means we suck. The Rutgers play, I had, 5 people on Instagram saying, "Oh, Rutgers money line, brother, that's the play." It wasn't the play. I will say they had 2 chances to win, went to double overtime, lost the game, but they didn't have it. That sucked. And then obviously, I had Georgia. Georgia was my number one play. They've been playing lights out. Look out, knocking water over. They've been lights out, beating everybody, covering all kinds of shit, and guess what? The minute I take them, see you later. So, again, everything I touch is turned to shit. I liked Mizzou Mizzou's over today against Mississippi State. I was going to look at that, and then I sat there and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was taking a little bathroom break when I was doing a little typing, looking at all the stats, and I said, Mizzou has screwed you over 3 times this year. 2 in parlays as the last leg. And then when you bet against them, I bet on Georgia, by the way, so fuck betting on the SEC. Mizzou beat me, so whether I bet against them or for them, everybody's got that team, whether you in the NFL or college football or college basketball, that just screws you. That team is Mizzou. So I'm not even going to root for Mizzou. I don't want anything to do with Missouri. They've lost me enough money already. It's March. I'm done with you. They've also been playing like awful, so I looked at Mississippi State, thought it could be an opportunity, but I don't even want to mess with Mizzou. Screw it. That's why I went to this over, and I really like that a lot. As far as adding anything else, look, we got to be smart here as we try to build this bankroll up. We got to be smart. I don't want to just throw shit out there. I wanted to see what you guys thought, what you guys had out there. But as far as like other plays, I don't have anything I've really locked in on besides that over that I mentioned with Tulsa and Temple. So that's kind of where I'm at. The only other one, I put down Texas Tech minus 6.5. I feel like that's going to be like really a square play. Texas Tech is actually one of my teams. I like to maybe put a little small taste on them to win it all. I think that could be nice. And then Arizona against Kansas, just because Kansas pissed me off yesterday. They won, but they won in double overtime against UCF. And like UCF is what are we doing? They were 10.5 point favorites. So I was on Kansas, but I've also won betting against Kansas. So Arizona money line was one that I did kind of enjoy a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's kind of where I'm at. Sam says, love the content. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. WeberBets.com if you guys want to get involved with the show, whether it be live or not. I love going live. I love doing this thing on YouTube and on Instagram / TikTok. Just kind of depends where I'm at the moment. But the more interaction we get with this thing, the better it's going to be. And I understand it's kind of a weird spot where I just have a random kind of schedule. There's no set schedule right now with what's going on. And it is what it is. Like, hopefully I can do this on a regular basis in the mornings is my plan. But between sometimes early days at work, and you know how it goes with kids and family, it's a lot of shit going on. So I try to go live as much as I can. What I will tell you is if you want to be live and help me grow this, what I would recommend is having notifications, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, letting you know when I'm live, and then helping me also do it maybe offline by leaving voicemails if you have picks, things like that. And we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's something that I like having just even a little bit of interaction. I would love to have a set schedule where it gets better. So I 100% understand where it's not easy to view. It's not easy to get involved when you're at work. Totally get it, but I'm just trying to figure out where we want to go with this thing. I like the setup. I like the way it's working. I just want to make sure we can do what's best to make it entertaining, I guess, but more just like make it work for the audience to get involved. It's kind of the whole point of this thing. So anyway, to carry on with other picks, Arizona is -2.5. I think if I add them to the parlay, this parlay is going to be $5 because I don't want to screw over. If I get my Temple over, I don't want to mess with it. I just want to focus on that play today. So I'm going to throw 5 on a parlay and see what happens because the other picks I really haven't done much research on. Unless you guys got locks. If you guys got locks, listen, throw them out there. As long as it's not Rutgers and their season's done anyway. But yeah, that was that play yesterday. I don't know. I trusted the audience and listen. I've gotten some great plays and it's going to happen sometimes. I knew they didn't have it. They were down 10 early. Ooh, came all the way back and then blew it. Brutal. Arizona money line sounds like it could work. I'm going to pull up Blue Book here and see if we can just throw something together, make it a little juicy, and just have a little parlay action. Because I hope my streak continues as far as the show goes. Because betting outside the show, nothing, not a damn thing. So let's scroll down a little bit. Let's go find this one. It is. I also kind of like Oklahoma +6.5. They looked pretty good yesterday against Georgia. Maybe Kentucky's better than I thought, though. I bet them against them when they played Mizzou, and they performed pretty well. So maybe I don't mess with that. But let's see. I also don't want to focus on much else besides college basketball. It kind of seems like that's what we're going to do. But take a look at the board here. I got plenty of room for more plays, folks. More plays. The over is my number one. I've done research on it. I explained it earlier if you're just now joining. But that's going to be the play. But I need more to build a parlay. So if you guys got something, let me know. Let's see what we got. I should just go Arizona money line just to be safe. If I add it with the over, I know I'm double dipping. I usually say I don't go number one play in the parlay, but at this point, I mean, it is the one I've really done the most research on, so I'm going to live and die from it and see what happens. But I'm confident we'll get back on the winning path today. Let's see. Trying to find it now. -137 Arizona against Kansas, which is, kind of heavy, but just being safe about it. Kansas just looked like really bad yesterday, and maybe that's something that I'm falling into a trap of, is hoping that continues by betting Arizona, because I was high on Kansas before, and they have screwed me over so many times, just last minute. They've won me some money, they've lost me some money. It goes back and forth, so I don't know who to trust. WeberBets.com. If you guys want to get involved, you can call in or you can leave a voicemail and let us know your top pick of the day, of the weekend, whatever it may be. I'm going to try to also go live on Friday and do this as much as I possibly can, but the show kind of sucks without people being interact. I mean, listen, I'm not an entertaining guy without interaction. That's what I'm known as a host. That's what I do. I can't host. I can host and talk myself about shit, but guess what? That's boring. And I started this thing not to be bored. I started this thing to have some fun. So the only time we have fun is if I can read comments and do calls and shit. So, who knows? We'll see where this goes. I want to have some fun with this thing. If not, then we'll just shut it down. But we need interaction, man. Need more of it. We do. Whether it's calls, whether it's texts, whether it's whatever it may be. I know this thing can be cool. We got to make it work. So it is what it is, I guess. Let's see here. Yeah, Mizzou, I'm not messing with you, Mizzou. I'm not doing it. Temple over. So that parlay is +230 if I did Arizona and the over in Temple and Tulsa. I'm going to add a few more since it's just $5, but usually that's not the way you do it. Other than that, some of these teams, I want to see who's red hot, kind of. Oklahoma's speaking to me, but I mean, again, I've been ice cold, so maybe I don't mess with that one. But I want to add, $5. I want to add at least a couple more here to get something going in this parlay. Purdue USC. USC played pretty good yesterday, but I think Purdue's pretty damn good. 9.5's a real tough number, though. Not a fan of that. Let's see. Anything else that's kind of earlier? LaSalle St. Joe's. Yeah, nothing. Stanford's getting 10.5 against Louisville. Apparently they looked pretty good yesterday. Texas Tech minus 6.5 is the one I think that's going to get me in trouble. But what if I just take the money line and then just add it to the parlay? I think that could be all right. Let's do it. So Texas Tech minus 280. It's heavy, but plus 348 on the parlay. And then I'll add one more in. Just why not? I kind of like Texas plus the points a little bit. Texas plus 6.5. So yeah, that's a fun little parlay. I'm focused only on that Tulsa Temple over, but let's go ahead and let's just keep it simple, and I'm gonna go with those as the parlay. Just to throw a little something out there. Jason said hit on Stanford last night. They played great. Yeah, that's the reason I was thinking about adding Stanford to it, just because they're getting 10.5. I don't know shit about Louisville, but we can take a look at Louisville men's basketball. Just to see what they got going on here. Just to see. Louisville basketball. The Cardinals. Let's take a look at the old schedule here. Louisville, 25-6. Pretty damn good team. I have not watched a second of them this year. They beat Stanford by 20 on March 8th. That's why it's that high. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with that. We're just going to keep it as I had it earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my laptop over there so I can see exactly what I put. Just got to hit something here. We got to hit something. Feel good about it. Good shit all over the studio. All right, so we got this over. Put it in red so we're not confused which over we're talking about. It's over with Arizona money line. With who else we got? Texas Tech. I just keep the red one out. Texas Tech money line, which is heavy. I know it's going to help a little bit with the parlay. This is more for the fact that I have to check off the box that we bet. We bet every parlay on the show. That's what I do. And then Texas plus 6.5. All right. So the over is my favorite. Arizona money line, Texas Tech money line, Texas plus 6.5. Are there any SEC teams in there? I don't believe so. We have a shot to win this motherfucker then, because SEC teams screw me over every single day, every single time I bet on their ass or against their ass. All right, plus 728. Not bad. I'm putting 5 on this one, okay? That's all I'm doing. Focused on this. The over in Tulsa Temple, 142.5. A shit ton of free throws every single game. They get to the rack. We're going to score a ton of points at the free throw line. They're going to give up also a lot of free throws to Tulsa, who's going to shoot over 50% once again against Temple. They've done it twice this year. They're playing for the third time in 3 weeks. 142.5. They've been over 155.5 or 155 in 2 games so far. They're going to just soar over. I feel good about that one. That's the number one play. The over in Tulsa Temple, 142.5. And the parlay for $5. That over, Arizona money line, Texas Tech money line, and Texas plus 6.5 for just $5. That's it. Just something to get on the board there. So there you go, Instagram. Look at the board just to see what we got. Just to see what we got. All right. Well, we got nobody listening, which is awesome. Listen. I'm not pissed off. I want to fucking talk to people about picks. I don't know when to do it. I don't know when to do the show. I don't know what works, but I like doing it. I just feel like I'm talking to myself. I just don't want to talk to myself. I don't want to talk to myself. I want a little bit of interaction. So, leave voicemails, leave emails, leave texts, whatever you want to do. Let's do something more on this program than just me talking to myself, because it sucks. We had Hayden call in last time. It was awesome. We lost Mavs plus 10.5, but he was the first caller. It was fun to bounce off somebody. I know you guys are out there. I see people tuning in. I see people viewing stuff, but listen. I said I'd do the show for 2 people. I'll do it for 2 people if 2 people are involved. I don't want to just do it to do it. I want to talk to people. I want to talk to you guys, but I want you to talk back to me. You know what I mean? That's how this show can go. So, not fired up. Maybe I am fired up. Not pissed off. I just want to talk. I just want to talk some picks. Z Lawrence, Blazers plus 4 last night was a lock. He's correct, and I didn't take it. But thank you very much, Z. I appreciate it. Maybe got to find a set schedule for the show no matter what it is. Just tough, but got to do it. Got to get that interaction. That's the only thing that's going to make this show somewhat watchable. I know me just throwing up fucking random plays isn't going to do anything. I mean, it is what it is, but hey, whatever. We'll figure out something. But there are the plays. There you have it. Yeah. We'll talk to you next time. Hopefully we have a few people that watch this. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
WeberBets.com is where you can find everything related to the show. Links to our social media platforms, show leaderboard, every parlay and pick. WeberBets.com. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Follow the show on TikTok and Instagram. And get involved with the show by leaving a voicemail on WeberBets.com. All right, I'll shut up now.